Okay, let's look at the volley. So in pickleball, the volley is one of the most important skills to master, particularly at the kitchen line. A well-executed volley allows players to stay on the offensive, control the tempo of the game, and outmaneuver opponents at the net. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned player looking to refine your technique, understanding the nuances of the volley can very much help your game. As you get better, more winning shots will be volleys. So let's nail this as soon as we can. All right, let's look at volley techniques. The grip. Your grip on the paddle plays a crucial role with volleys. The most common grip for volleys is the continental grip. Just imagine having a handshake with your paddle. This grip allows for versatility, it enables quick reactions and easy transitions between forehand and backhand volleys. Ready position. Positioning yourself correctly at the kitchen line is key to reacting quickly. Your knees should be slightly bent, paddle held out in front of your chest, and weight balanced on the balls of your feet. Here's a tip. Keeping your paddle at shoulder height helps you be prepared for both offensive and defensive volleys. Now, this can be really strange at first, folks, okay? But stick with it, you will get used to it. Another tip, bring your table tennis game into play here. A lot of table tennis in the forecourt is backhands, 85% backhands and the odd forehand. And it's very similar here when you're at the kitchen line having volley exchanges with your opponents. Three, a compact swing. A volley is all about control, so avoid large swings that cause mishits. The volley in pickleball is more of a punch or a stab rather than a full swing. Focus on short, controlled movements with a firm wrist. For power, use your body and core to push through the ball instead of relying on a big paddle swing. Four, soft hands. Developing soft hands is critical for controlling the pace of the ball during dinks or soft volleys. A loose grip allows you to absorb the energy of hard shots and keep the ball in play without sending it flying out of bounds. We're talking of a grip of about 3 to 4 out of 10, something like that. Tip, when necessary, obviously tighten your grip for a more offensive volley, but for most controlled exchanges, maintaining a soft touch is key. Right, let's look at the types of volleys. Number one, the standard block volley. This is a short controlled volley where you use the paddle face almost like a wall, letting the ball rebounding gently without a big swing. You use it when your opponent hits a fast drive at you and you just don't have time for a backswing. You use it to maintain control and keep the ball low over the net. Keep a firm wrist, no flipping and flapping, right? Minimal follow through. You're absorbing speed, you're not adding to it. And this is great for neutralizing aggressive shots. Number two, the punch volley. This is a more aggressive volley where you punch the ball forward with a compact, controlled motion. You use it when you're at the kitchen line and you see a ball you can attack. It's to put pressure on your opponents and force an error. It's a short forward push, not a tennis style swing, right? The contact point slightly in front of your body, aim for angles or your opponent's feet. Number three, the drop volley. A soft volley where you take pace off the ball so it lands gently in the opponent's kitchen. So when do you use this? Okay, when you force your opponents right to the back of the court, and then this soft volley just over the net to win the point or force a pop-up to put away. You need to loosen your grip slightly to absorb the pace. Use a slightly open paddle face. Aim for just over the net. The lower, the better. But make sure you clear the net. Now, here's a tip. This is a pretty difficult shot to undertake, especially for anyone less than possibly intermediate level. So beware. Also, against really good players, it seldom works. Excuse me, it seldom works as they're anticipating it and they can get to the kitchen line quickly, especially if they're young. Therefore, losing you the advantage of being up at the kitchen. Okay, let's look at the swing volley. Now, this is a volley taken with a longer, more aggressive swing, almost like a ground stroke hit, but before it bounces. You use it when you're moving forward and the ball is floating high, okay? And you use it to finish a point with pace and placement or to hit it back to your opponent's feet or deep into their court. Time your swing so you strike in front and high. Be careful not to overhit it into the net or out, which happens all the time. So be careful of that. I'll say that again. Be careful not to hit it into the net or out. It's best done when you have time and balance, not when you're reacting to rallies. Now, the last volley, I have to admit, is quite a difficult one to undertake. So this is probably for the intermediates, possibly even the high intermediates, those that people have gone into 4.0. This is the roll volley, right? This is a top spin volley where you brush up on the ball even though it's in the air, adding spin to dip it quickly into the court. It's used when you're at the kitchen line. You may be dinking and then suddenly they pop one up a little bit and you just roll it over. Okay. You use it when you want to combine speed with control, and you use it to get the ball to drop sharply after crossing the net, making it harder for your opponents to volley back. You need to do a slight upward brushing motion with the paddle. It requires a soft touch to avoid popping the ball up. It's often used for advanced players to attack from the kitchen line. Okay, so those are the different kinds of volleys. Let's look now at tactics. Winning at the net. Right, targeting opponent's feet. One of the most effective tactics is to hit your volleys low, aiming at your opponent's feet. A low volley forces your opponent to hit upward, giving you a chance to close in and hit a more aggressive shot. It also increases the likelihood of an error from your opponent, as hitting a good return from this position is pretty difficult. So tip, don't aim for the sidelines. Aim towards the middle or at their feet. Play it safe and get it in. People coming from tennis and badminton always seem to make this mistake, including me. Okay, secondly, attacking weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses, and part of smart volleying is exploiting them. So, for example, if your opponent has a weak backhand, target it consistently with your volleys. If one player is less mobile, target your shots towards them to keep them off balance. If an opponent tends to overhit when pressured, be more aggressive in your net play to force errors. Okay, here's a tip, which is not really to do with competitive play. Okay, when you're not in competitive play, hit at least 50% of your volleys to the stronger player if one of your opponents is especially weaker. And this will ensure everyone gets something out of the points, right? It's not always about winning, folks. Right, let's look at the strategy. Thinking a step ahead. To truly excel at volleying in pickleball, you need to adopt a strategic mindset, right? And here are some strategies. Number one, control the kitchen line. In pickleball, whoever controls the non-volley zone usually controls the match. Staying close to the kitchen line and volleying early gives you more options of placing your shots and applying pressure. When volleying at the net, you can hit angles, drop volleys, and put your opponents on the defensive. Tip, keep your paddle up when at the kitchen line, exchanging volleys with your opponents, okay? As I said, 85% of your volleys at this time ought to be backhands, right? Saving time, not switching to the forehand. So aim for their forehand side, which can be more tricky to return. Number two, attack at the right moment. Not every volley, okay, is an opportunity to go for a winner. Learning to recognize the difference between an offensive and defensive volley is key. Attack when the ball is above the net and you can hit it downward. Attack when your opponent is off balance or out of position. Attack when you can surprise your opponent with an unexpected angle, for example. Tip again, use table tennis like backhand top spins if you can to hit the ball about net height so it goes over and then downwards at their feet. If you're in a defensive situation, focus on staying calm, block the shot back and resetting the rally as much as possible. 3. Use angles to your advantage. Volleys give you the opportunity to create sharp angles on both sides, forcing your opponent to move and react quickly. Hitting the ball cross court or aiming for the sidelines can stretch your opponent, leaving them vulnerable to follow-up shot. The key is to disguise your shot until the last second to keep your opponent guessing if you're able to do that. But here's a tip. A big tip, volley down the middle to consistently get it in. Again, this is a safer and more reliable shot. Volley down the middle or to their feet. If you're going for the sidelines, there's a good chance you're just going to hit it out. 4, and us seniors should be good at this, stay patient and consistent. Pickleball is a game of patience, even at the net, where volleys can come fast and furious. The most successful players are those who stay consistent. Avoid the temptation to go for the kill shot too early. Wait for the right opportunity. If you're patient and consistently keep the ball in play, your opponent is more likely to make a mistake. Right, let's look at some of those mistakes, some of those common mistakes to avoid, right? Be mindful of common errors that can cost you points. Overhitting, especially in tight exchanges. Players tend to swing too hard. Keep your volleys controlled and compact. Backing away from the net, staying engaged at the kitchen line is absolutely crucial. Backing up gives your opponents more angles to exploit. Overcommitting to one side. Keep your stance balanced so you can react quickly to forehand and backhand. Overcommitting to one side leaves you vulnerable. Letting the ball drop. Whenever possible, take the volley out of the air before it drops below the net. This allows you to stay on offensive and prevent your opponent from regaining control of the point. Tip, big tip. Be ready to let the ball go, judging that the ball will go out. If you're at the kitchen line having a volley exchange with your opponents and a ball comes shoulder height, right, let it fly. If it's high, let it fly. Have that in your head. Right, before we finish, I just want to say something about eye protection. Volleying close by, balls go into eyes. The balls don't just go straight into your eye, but they come off your opponent's paddle and come into your eye this way, etc. Okay, so eye protection, in my view, is absolutely essential. Okay, if you're a beginner, get some eye protection. Start using eye protection and get used to it. Get used to your safety glasses. Using existing everyday glasses, it's a no-no. It is not recommended on so many levels. Some people say, well, I can take the lenses out of my sunglasses and everything will be fine. No, it is not recommended. Trust me. Everyone who has played 2 to 3 years or more knows someone who's had a bad eye injury. Right, these are my glasses. For those of you watching on video, this is what they look like. I think they look pretty cool. But anyway, wear them, okay? Wear them all the time you play pickleball, especially in competitive doubles. Right, let's conclude. Mastering the volley in pickleball is about more than just hitting the ball. It's about developing strong technique, executing smart tactics, and thinking ahead with a strong strategic mindset. By refining these aspects of your game, you'll be able to control the pace of your volleys, outmaneuver your opponents, and dominate the net. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced player, dedicating time to improve your volley can make a huge difference to your game. Focus on control, be patient, and look for opportunities to attack when the moment is right. With practice and thoughtful application, you'll become a force to be reckoned with at the net. Okay, good luck with that volleying, and I'll leave it for now. Right, bye.